Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I used to feel so much stronger? When did everything start feeling heavier? Maybe it's bending down to pick up the groceries or walking up a flight of stairs that used to be no big deal, but now makes you catch your breath. Maybe it's not just the big things you notice, but the little ones too. Like the way you reach for something on a high shelf and feel that twinge in your shoulder, or how getting out of a chair takes just a little more effort than it used to. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. After 60, it's natural for our bodies to change. Our muscles thin out, our bones lose some of their strength. Even our balance starts to shift in ways we don't always expect. But here's something important to remember. Just because it's common doesn't mean it's something you have to accept without a fight. Because the truth is, with a few simple, smart choices, you can help your body stay strong, stable, and vibrant well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. And one of the easiest ways to support that strength? Supplements. Not magic pills, not miracle cures. Just a handful of powerful, doctor-recommended nutrients that fill in the gaps where our bodies sometimes need a little extra help. Think of them like reinforcements, the backup team your muscles, bones, and joints need to keep you moving through life with confidence. Today, we're going to talk about the top 4 supplements that doctors consistently recommend for a stronger body after 60. Supplements that are backed by real research, real results, and real hope for living your life to the fullest. Let's start with a supplement that's incredibly well-known, but often misunderstood: calcium. We've heard about calcium all our lives, haven't we? Drink your milk for strong bones, they said when we were kids. But what many people don't realize is that after 60, your body's ability to absorb calcium naturally drops. Even if you're eating a good diet, you might not be getting enough. And when your calcium levels are low, your bones quietly start to weaken, making you more vulnerable to fractures, even from simple falls or bumps that once wouldn't have left a mark. It's a bit like the foundation of a house. You can't see it every day, but if it starts to crumble, everything above it becomes less stable. That's what happens to our skeleton when we let calcium slip too low. The danger is silent, but the consequences are loud. The good news is, adding a high-quality calcium supplement can help shore up that foundation. It gives your body the building blocks it needs to maintain bone density and resist the slow erosion of time. I once met a woman named Patricia at a health seminar. She was 74, full of energy, and she shared how just a simple calcium routine helped her stay independent and active, even after a minor hip injury that could have sidelined her for good. Of course, it's important to choose the right form of calcium. Some are easier for your body to absorb than others, and it's even more important to pair it with something that acts like calcium's best friend: vitamin D. Vitamin D isn't just about getting a little sunshine, although that certainly helps. Vitamin D plays a critical role in helping your body actually use the calcium you're giving it. Without enough vitamin D, that calcium can pass through your system without ever really getting put to work. It's like having a toolbox full of nails and no hammer. The materials are there, but nothing gets built. And here's something else most people don't realize. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Even if you're spending time outdoors, you might not be making as much vitamin D as you need. It's one of those quiet changes that sneaks up on you, like realizing you suddenly need brighter reading glasses or a little more time to warm up when you stretch in the morning. A vitamin D supplement, often recommended alongside calcium, helps close that gap. It supports your bones, boosts your immune system, and can even help lift your mood. I always smile when I think about Mr. Green, a gentleman I met at a community fitness class. He started taking vitamin D on his doctor's advice and swore it made his winters feel a little less heavy, a little more hopeful. And you know what? There's science behind that feeling. Vitamin D is linked to better emotional health too, not just physical strength. When you think about it, these supplements aren't just about preventing bad things from happening. They're about setting yourself up for good things to continue happening. More walks with your grandkids, more trips to the garden, more mornings where you wake up and feel steady, balanced, and ready to embrace the day. And we're just getting started. Calcium and vitamin D are like the first reinforcements you send in to protect your castle. But there's another powerful ally: One that doesn't just support your bones, but also fuels the very engines that power your strength, your muscles. I'm talking about protein, specifically in the form of a supplement called whey protein. Now, before you picture bodybuilders in the gym guzzling protein shakes the size of flower pots, let's take a step back. After 60, getting enough high-quality protein is one of the most important and most overlooked ways to stay strong, mobile, and independent. You see, our muscles are like beautiful, hard-working engines. They carry us through every day, lifting, bending, reaching, walking. But after 60, those engines start to lose power. We naturally lose muscle mass, even if we stay active. It's called sarcopenia, and it can sneak up on you faster than you think. First, you notice you can't carry as many grocery bags at once. Then maybe the stairs seem steeper than they used to. Then it's harder to get up from the floor without holding on to something. It's easy to chalk it up to aging, but the truth is, muscle loss isn't inevitable. You can fight back, you can rebuild, you can stay strong with the right fuel. That's where whey protein comes in. Whey is a complete, easily digestible protein that helps your body repair and build muscle, even when your natural muscle-making machinery isn't running quite as efficiently as it did at 30. Think of it like premium gasoline for your body's engine. Clean, powerful, and designed to help you move through life with more energy, more balance, and more strength. And it's so simple to add. A small scoop stirred into a smoothie, a quick shake after a walk, a light, creamy addition to breakfast or lunch that gives your muscles exactly what they need to stay alive, awake, and powerful. I remember a gentleman named Thomas who joined our senior fitness group last year. He was 68, vibrant, but frustrated because no matter how much he tried to stay active, he kept feeling weaker. His doctor recommended adding a daily whey protein shake, and just 3 months later, Thomas was back to hiking the local trails and lifting his grandkids up for big bear hugs without hesitation. His confidence came roaring back, and that, my friend, is priceless. Of course, if you're sensitive to dairy or whey, there are excellent plant-based protein powders available too, from peas, rice, or hemp. The important thing isn't the brand or the label, it's the habit, giving your body the essential tools it needs to build strength from the inside out. And speaking of the inside, there's another supplement doctors often recommend that works deep within your body, quietly protecting one of your most precious and hardworking parts, your joints. It's called omega-3 fatty acids. You might have heard about omega-3s in the news. They're found naturally in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. But for many of us, especially as we age, it's tough to get enough from food alone. That's why many doctors suggest adding an omega-3 supplement to your daily routine. Why are omega-3s so important after 60? Because they're like a soothing balm for inflammation. As we get older, inflammation becomes a silent enemy, slowly wearing down our joints, our hearts, even our brains. It's like rust on a beautiful car. You don't always see it happening, but over time, it weakens the whole system. Omega-3s help calm that rust. They support heart health by keeping your blood vessels flexible and strong. They help cushion your joints, making movement smoother and less painful. And emerging research even suggests they play a role in maintaining brain function and memory. I once heard a lovely description from a retired teacher named Mrs. Kim. She said taking her omega-3s every day felt like oil for her creaky door hinges. Every morning after breakfast, she took her supplement with a smile, knowing she was doing something simple but powerful for herself. And at 76, she was still leading yoga classes, gardening, and beating her grandkids at board games with lightning-fast wit. When you add omega-3s to your daily life, it's not about quick, dramatic changes. It's about those small, steady improvements that quietly stack up. A little less joint stiffness, a little more spring in your step, a little more clarity when you're chatting with old friends or reading your favorite book. And what's beautiful is that these 4 supplements, calcium, vitamin D, whey protein, and omega-3s, work together like a dream team. They don't just support one part of you. They build a whole, stronger, sturdier you. Your bones hold you up. Your muscles carry you forward. Your joints keep you moving smoothly. Your heart keeps beating strong. Your mind stays bright and steady. It's not about becoming someone you used to be. It's about becoming the strongest, healthiest version of who you are now. Someone who still has so many more memories to make, so many more mornings to wake up smiling, so many more adventures to enjoy. Because aging isn't about fading away. It's about shining in a new light, a wiser light, a stronger light. And every smart choice you make now, every small change, every tiny act of care builds that light brighter and stronger than ever. Now that we've explored how calcium, vitamin D, whey protein, and omega-3s can work hand in hand to help you build a stronger, more vibrant body after 60, let's spend a moment talking about something just as important as taking the right supplements: creating simple habits that make these changes easy and natural to stick with. Because the truth is, knowing what to do is only half the battle. It's the doing, the daily loving choices that truly transform our health. And when it comes to taking supplements, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent enough that your body starts to trust you, to rebuild with you, to thrive with you. One of the best ways to start is to connect these new habits to something you're already doing every day. For example, if you take a morning cup of coffee or tea, that's your anchor. Set your supplements next to the kettle or the coffee pot, where you'll see them. It becomes as natural as pouring a cup, as routine as stirring in a spoonful of sugar. No pressure, no guilt if you miss a day, just a gentle reminder that each morning you have a fresh chance to nourish yourself. Some people find it helpful to use a small pill organizer, not because they're forgetful, but because they're building a little ceremony out of caring for themselves. I met a wonderful gentleman named Harold, who joked that his weekly routine of setting out his supplements was like prepping my toolbox for a brand new week. Every Sunday afternoon, he'd sit by the window, sort out his calcium, his vitamin D, his omega-3s, and his protein powder packets. It wasn't a chore for him. It was an act of devotion to his future self. And that's a beautiful way to think about it, isn't it? Every time you take a supplement, you're sending a tiny but powerful message forward. I believe in my own strength. I believe my best years aren't behind me. I'm still building a life that matters. Of course, it's not just about taking a pill or mixing a shake. It's about how these small habits connect to bigger, richer experiences in your life. When your muscles are stronger, you can dance a little longer at your granddaughter's wedding. When your joints are cushioned and flexible, you can garden without fear of falling. When your heart is steady and your mind is clear, you can travel, explore, and savor every single moment with full presence. I once had a conversation with a woman named Lillian, a bright spirit in her early 80s. She told me that after she started taking her supplements consistently, just the simple ones we've talked about, she didn't feel like a different person overnight. But she noticed one morning, bending down to tie her shoes, that it didn't feel like a struggle anymore. She noticed that she could walk a little farther before needing a rest. She noticed that laughing with her friends didn't leave her short of breath. And those little things, she said, made her feel like life was opening back up to her instead of closing in. That's the real magic of these changes. Not flashy transformations, not impossible promises, just the quiet return of freedom, of confidence, of possibility. Maybe right now you're feeling a little overwhelmed. Maybe you're thinking, can I really make a difference at my age? Haven't the best days already passed? And if you are feeling that way, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not too late. Your body still listens, your heart still dreams, your spirit still shines. And every good thing you do for yourself, no matter how small, is a way of saying, I choose life, I choose strength, I choose hope. So, what's the next small step you can take today? Maybe it's setting your calcium and vitamin D on the kitchen counter. Maybe it's stirring a scoop of whey protein into your morning oatmeal. Maybe it's ordering a bottle of omega-3 supplements online, or picking them up on your next grocery run. Start with one thing. Let it be simple. Let it feel good. Trust that it will grow. And when you look back, weeks or months from now, you might be amazed at the new strength you've built. Not just in your muscles or your bones, but in your spirit. In your belief that even after 60, after 70, after 80, life still holds gifts waiting for you to claim them. So here's what I'd love for you to do. If anything we talked about today resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Maybe you've already started taking some of these supplements and have seen a difference. Maybe you're about to take your very first step. Either way, your story matters. It could light the way for someone else who's standing right where you are, wondering if they can still build a stronger, brighter future. And if you found value in this conversation, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every week, we share more tips, more encouragement, and more inspiration to help you live your healthiest, happiest life after 60. You're not alone on this journey. We're building a beautiful community together, one strong step at a time. Remember, small changes are powerful. One choice, one day, one habit at a time. Here's to you, to your strength, your resilience, your incredible journey. Your best days aren't behind you. They are right here, and they are still waiting to be lived with all the heart, all the joy, and all the strength you have inside you. Keep shining, keep thriving, and I'll see you in the next video.